You were told religion controls you, limits you, cages your freedom. But pause for just a moment and ask yourself honestly. If religion is control, then who is controlling you right now? Because every morning you wake up ruled by alarms you didn't choose, work hours you didn't design, social standards you didn't vote for, desires planted in your mind by ads you never consented to, and opinions shaped by algorithms that know you better than your own parents. Yet strangely, the moment Islam says pray 5 times, lower your gaze, control your desire, be accountable even in private, suddenly it becomes oppression. Isn't that interesting? Because modern man rejects divine limits while happily obeying invisible masters, and here lies the real conflict. Not man versus religion, but man versus accountability. Because Islam doesn't profit from you, doesn't harvest your data, doesn't sell your insecurity back to you. It simply asks one dangerous question that shakes the ego to its core. Who owns you, yourself or the one who created you? And that is why the Qur'an doesn't argue emotionally. It reasons logically, reminding mankind that absolute freedom without purpose always collapses into slavery of desire. Because when desire becomes God, morality becomes optional, commitment becomes a burden, and truth becomes negotiable. And look around. Depression at its peak, relationships fragile, identity confused. Yet still religion is blamed. While the system that commodifies your body, your time, and even your attention is celebrated as progress. Islam, however, arrives with an uncomfortable clarity, telling man, you are not random, your life is not meaningless, your actions are not invisible, and your choices echo beyond death. And that terrifies modern arrogance, because a life with no higher accountability feels easy until consequences arrive. And the Quran exposes this illusion gently but firmly, stating that man was not created aimlessly, nor left without guidance. And suddenly the narrative flips. Religion is no longer control, it is resistance. Resistance against being reduced to an animal driven only by impulse. Resistance against being used and discarded by systems that promise pleasure but deliver emptiness. And this is why Islamic guidance feels heavy to the ego but light to the soul. Because discipline is painful only until chaos becomes unbearable. And history proves this again and again. Civilizations didn't collapse due to too much faith. They collapsed due to moral decay, masked as freedom and the Qur'an predicted this psychological pattern centuries ago, warning that when man forgets his creator, he forgets himself, and today we see it. Vividly, people discovering everything except meaning, knowing everything except purpose, connected to the world yet disconnected from their own soul. So the real question is not why religion exists, but why modern man is running from it. Because deep down, he knows that day will come when excuses dissolve, narratives fail, and truth stands naked and on. That day the greatest regret won't be that religion restricted you. It will be that you ignored guidance when you were free to choose it. So before dismissing faith as control, ask yourself bravely, who truly owns your mind right now? And if this thought unsettled you even slightly, then maybe this battle of man versus religion is not about belief at all, but about surrendering pride. And that is a war modern man desperately avoids.